Hello there, everyone. This is Keith from Keith's Comics, coming to you from our beautiful Keith's Comics warehouse and studio. Hoping that you're having a good Friday evening as we prepare to sell you some comics. Full disclosure, we're going to try to take some of your money. I promised Kayleen I'd give her some new thumbnails. So, and so that she can put new thumbnails on our YouTube channel. So hopefully that all works out, and she can remove the picture where it looks like I'm shooting heroin. So anyway, Cindy's with me here as always.
Right here.
And we're going to be showing you comics one at a time. Hopefully your comics match your FOMO, and then we can make a love connection. If you see something you like, please go to the comment section on our Keith's Comics Network Facebook page. You can watch our show on several of our Facebook pages, and you can even watch it in the future. Hello, future. That's all good and fine, but if you want to claim something, you have to type claim, the title of the book, and the issue number into the comment section of the Keith's Comics Network Facebook page. The Facebook is the timekeeper, and spelling is not so important. So we got a little bit of daylight here. I like this fall weather that we're having. Looks like it's going to get a little warmer next week, but that's not too bad, right? And I also see some of our regulars starting to pile in there. Half the Angelettas are already here, and it looks like we're about ready for a show, right, Cindy?
We are.
All right, so claim ready. All right, very good. Dad, get my web's going to turn around and pick out some Green Lantern books or something. All right, so let's go find the fake Kelsey Grammer. Let's get this show started.
All right. Let's cook this pig.
All right.
Keith's Comics.
If you're new to the show or you're seeing us in the future, hello future. Make sure you're using the comment section of the Keith's Comics Network page, and then afterwards, if you feel like you have won something, email us at keithscomicschannel@gmail.com. You can see the email right above my rather large forehead. You can see that Keith's Comics channel, and I'm encouraging you, please visit keithscomics.com and see all the cool stuff we're doing over there, and from there you can get to the Facebook pages of our other stores, our Mockingbird store, our North Dallas store, our Firewheel Mall store. You can also shop online with us on our Shopify store. How about that? Nice. All right, now let's see. Cindy, you're ready to go then, right?
I am.
Let me switch the camera over, and we're going to get started. With the first item is a Thor number 195. It's a conditional offering. A conditional offering means that somebody has sent me their want list. And you can send me your want list too, and I'll look for stuff for you too. Here I'm switching over to the front there. Want lists to Warehouse Hunter at keithsneatstuff.com. You drop your want list. If we find some stuff, we put it in the show with a conditional offering, which means you get first dibs. And just like somebody has this on their list, they have first dibs. But perhaps the book is not in the grade that they wanted in, or they already have it, or they just decided, you know what, I'm not into Thor anymore. I got to move on. So if you see something, somebody claim something, go ahead and claim it yourself. People do get premature claimination. Thor, number 195 from 1972. This is a solid, pretty fine copy. The colors are great. It's a beautiful book. On the inside, it's fantastic, but it just has a few too many ticks on the spine to get it in super high grade in VF. But we'd still put $15 on this in the stores if it makes it out that far. $10 if you save us the trouble from bundling it up and sending it out. Conditional offering, type claim, Thor 195, and it could be on its way to you. All right. Well, we got the. Well, it looks like that's good. Next up,
We have a $1 conditional. It's got the Mark Jewelers variant. It's a Mark Jewelers variant.
it's a Mark Jewelers variant for $1. This is Daredevil number 164 or 154.
It is 154.
You see, the conditional offerings don't have to be like super high grade or super hard to find. Or I need only a Fantastic Four number 12 or 25 or whatever it is that some people need. It can be something like this, and maybe it still doesn't fit what they're looking for their collection. That's okay. It's a great reader copy. It's got a Mark Jewelers insert in it, so it carries a premium to make it a solid $1. Daredevil number 154, $1. Next up. Oh, a super sweet copy. VF, I think, but maybe somebody would arm wrestle me and say a VF minus. But this Men of War, mid 1970s DC war book featuring the Undertaker. Is that right? Is that what his name? Does it say his name on the front of there anywhere, Cindy?
I'm looking. Codename Gravedigger.
Gravedigger. I knew it was something like that.
Undertaker, Gravedigger.
Yeah, I was close. I was.
Eight up the top.
Yes. This was his own book. He's the character there in the middle. Number 9 of Men of War. This is a conditional offering. Someone actually has this book on their list. I was very excited about that. This is a really sweet copy of this. $15 in store, $10 for Acclaim tonight. Look at that newsstand version of that too. Next up,
This is also a dollar conditional. It is also a Mark Jewelers variant.
another Mark Jewelers variant, Conan, number 76, I believe that is.
Yep.
All right. It's only $1. It doesn't have to be expensive. If somebody has this on their want list, we'd like to get them taken care of. Next up,
Final conditional for today.
the final conditioning of today is this beautiful, sweet, high-grade copy of Ghost Manor. Issue number 22, and this is a really cool book because it has a Steve Ditko story in it, and a very nice Don Newton story in which he's like channeling all those mid-1970s horror guys like Wrighton and such. This all-new Ghost Manor featuring Mr. Bones. He's the narrator. Seems like all these horror books from the 70s and late 60s, early 70s always had, all the way back to the 50s, always had a narrator, some kind of, like Cain and Abel over at DC. They always had a special person. $20 in store, $14. If you're all into the Ghost Manor, make sure you claim it now. Oh, yeah. Ooh, spooky is right. Next up. A really, really nice copy. You know, we get this copy a lot because Superboy sold really well back in the day. But generally, they're pretty low grade because they got read to bits. And this Neil Adams cover on this is just sensational. It's nice to see a fine plus copy of this book because most of them come through are just VGs or lower. Sensational cover on this. Fine plus maybe. From 1968. Issue number 150 of Superboy. $12 in store. $6 if you claim it here. And you can find out what happens when the stranger who stalks Smallville. Mwah. Next up. More horror books, right? We just about tapped out of those, I hope. Oh, sets.
Well, wish on, because I found a box today.
All right. Iceman from 1985, is that right? Is that what I wrote on there?
Yeah, it says 84, 85, so it
Oh,
must
okay.
have been on the end of the month.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, that makes sense. The Chili Mutant had his own miniseries back in 1984/1985. This is all 4 issues of it. Beautiful VF copies. We have 2 sets, right, Cindy?
Yep, we do.
One set is
One. There's the other.
one set is all when that set on top is that all direct copies?
Yes, it is.
All direct copies have a little Spider-Man in the UPC code.
Right, and the
then-
other one is all but one of the newsstand.
So the other one's mixed, mostly newsstand. But this is all 4 issues of they're both in the similar grades. $18 in store, $12, and we can take care of 2 different people, obviously, because we have 2 sets. 2 sets of Iceman, the miniseries. Next up. Spider-Man, number 213. You know, I look at this book all the time because it's always Spider-Man sold great during this time period, so we get them in lots of collections. I never noticed that that's the Wizard on the right-hand side. Like, I always thought that was just like some weird shadow. The Wizard, unfortunately named earlier in Stan Lee's career when he had to make everything be alliteration. He was the wingless wizard, like most wizards are wingless. Wouldn't you say that, Cindy?
Yep.
But he sorted that out eventually and became just known as the Wizard. And here he is, was fighting Spider-Man in some kind of robotic giant spider. Who knows? Maybe Nick Cage will show up here in just a minute and help him fight it. Issue 213 of The Amazing Spider-Man from 1981. Only $8, which is a great deal for this really sweet Fine Plus copy. $11 if it flies out to the stores. Next up. Great copy of World's Finest. You know, it was very rare for us, even though this is a VG copy. Getting a copy, because you can see on the cover that because people's faces are being erased. Generally, when we get this back in stock and get it back in a collection, some 12-year-old has drawn the faces in for us. So to get one that isn't actually drawn in is a nice little treat. This is a really cool Superman Green Arrow story, but it also has some Golden Age reprint in it. In the middle of this, the Black Pirate. Oh, fun stuff. World's Finest, number 210 from 1972. $6. That's the price of most new comics today. $6. World's Finest, number 210. $6. Oh, Pablo's here. Dinner was sauteed chops and rice.
Ooh, we had chops.
Yeah, we had pork chops.
Sort of.
Yeah, we used pork chops, but we made them into a stir fry last night. It was pretty swell.
Pretty delicious.
All right, Uncanny X-Men. This is, what is that?
It says this is forever. So.
Oh, that's the name of the storyline.
Well, there we go.
This is forever.
I knew because I had no idea.
Well, I wrote it. I would hope I knew, but that isn't.
You were wondering for a
Well,
minute.
that's not guaranteed just because I wrote it. Number 11 through 16 of the Uncanny X-Men from this time period, the 2019 series. So this is the relatively recent, but this is 11 through 16, a complete little story arc here. $45, pretty happening. Or $30 if you claim them all. Beautiful VF copies. This is Forever miniseries inside of Uncanny X-Men 11 through 16, $30. Yeah, where's your chop? I'd like to get some chops too. That sounds pretty good. Oh, and look at this beautiful Flash. It's technically going to grade it a VG because it's hard to get high grades on these Flashes with the black covers. Beautiful Neil Adams cover from 1971. Evil Sound of Music. Oh, no. Is Julie Andrews dead on the floor there? Yikes. $7 if you claim it here on Keys Comics Network tonight. $10 if you somehow let it slip through to the stores. And get you a nice little bargain there. Plus, these issues in this time period had really nice Kid Flash backup stories with Irv Novick and Dick Dillon, I believe, doing some of the artwork. But Dick Giordano just slaying it on the inks on those books. They look fantastic. $7 for Flash number 207. Next up, Brave and the Bold. If you have a Brave and the Bold want list, you should send it to us because we have about 40 Brave and the Bolds that we'll be doling out over the shows over the next, however long it takes us to do them. Some of them are very nice once you get towards the end of the run, like this Brave and the Bold number 187. A newsstand version of this. So in 1982, there were newsstands and directs. That's something I want to start trying to note because I don't know when the whole break point was. When did they start doing newsstand and direct copies of everything? I would suspect that different companies did this at different times. But for DC Comics, for sure here, because I've seen copies of this with the DC logo in there, so that would be a direct copy. So this is a newsstand copy of Brave and the Bold number 187. Beautiful, smoking hot VF copy. $6 seems criminal, but there you go. Batman and the Metal Men. Whatever happened to What's-Her-Name? Oh, well, whatever did happen to What's-Her-Name? $6. Next up. Right, there was no GL backups in those, although there's a nice little run of Flash that we will hit. I just accidentally picked some without the Green Lanterns on them. Next up, GI Combat. What grade is that, Cindy?
It's a VF minus.
VF minus. I should have put conditional on that, but I failed on that. So I know that's on several people's want list, or at least Pablo's for sure. But I don't know if he has this one or not. Beautiful VF minus copy from 1975. Wow. Issue 179. Only $7. Including an appearance inside there that says, of the Haunted Tank. If you get a chance, scribble a conditional on that, or C-O-N-D. For me, please.
As soon as I put this
Pretty please. Pretty please. Next up. Batman and Superman Adventures, World's Finest. Was this an animated special, Cindy? It says that it's the official comics adaptation.
Well, it looks like
But
it.
I'm
This
getting-
says Paul Dini on there, and
right?
Well, it must be if Paul Dini's name's on there.
Well,
right?
yeah, I don't know. There we go. The official comics adaptation. Somebody help me out on there because
It does look just like it.
it's been 25, almost 30 years now. I forget things. So this is issue, well, it's a one-shot special. $17 in store, $12 if you claim it here. Claim Batman and Superman Adventures, World's Finest. Next up, more Flash, and unfortunately, as similar as last time, it has a great Kid Flash backup, but no Green Lantern. We'll get to those though. I keep forgetting that we got to hammer the Green Lantern while we can. Issue 211. I can't sort out who did the cover on this. Maybe like Dick Dillon with Giordano inks, but it kind of looks a little Neil Adams-ish, but not 100%. Still good colors on it. From 1971, this is a fine minus VG Plus. We can arm wrestle over it. $12 in store. It's the Flash Classic. $9 if you claim the Flash here. Where's my Flash fans? Next up. Oh, William, that's great. I appreciate that. Cindy, this is Kaylin, Q, and the whole gang at Firewheel are doing a great job.
Oh, excellent to hear.
That's nice. That's very nice. Appreciate that. Next up from Marvel, it's a cross section of the comedy titles, the early 1970s, where you had your Crazy magazine, Cracked, those kind of things, and monster magazines. The funny monsters in ARG, or should it be ARG? I don't know how to put that exclamation point at the end of it. But we got the Universal Monsters making an appearance, or is that Grandpa Monster in the background there? I don't know, but the Wolfman, you got some version of Frankenstein there. From 1975, this is ARG number 2. $10 in store for this VG copy. $7 if you claim it here during the show. Well, Pablo's caught up. All right, good to see you there. Next up is a nice copy of Action Comics with the go-go checks on the top. Earth is doomed, evidently. So if you need to figure out how Superman gets us out of that, $6 is the buy-in here. So throw us $6 and we'll get you taken care of with Action Comics number 342 or 392. Cindy, I can't see.
342.
342. Also, we need to move the camera this way a little bit. We're not getting the far left book right now. Or squish them together closer.
Look. Is it not moved?
No. Needs to pull the whole camera towards the... There we go. Okay. All right. Now move it to the right a little bit. The whole camera to the right. Oh, that's beautiful. Awesome. Next up. More miniseries is complete. Falcon miniseries. Here's your future Captain America, From 1983, Falcon number 1 through 4. Nice, solid, fine plus copies. Read a couple of times, but read carefully. $11 for the complete set is such a steal. I should call the Falcon to protect it. $15 in store. This is a miniseries from the early 1980s. That predates Secret Wars, I believe. Right around in that time. $11 for Falcon 1 through 4. Next up. Oh, Ty is here. Welcome. What's the good grief for? I don't know. Batman and Deathblow. Wow. Well, Azarel, a great writer. And these beautiful covers of these. This was a 3-part miniseries, all in prestige formats. I don't currently have the 2 and 3. Maybe they'll turn up as we work these collections. But still, this beautiful Batman Deathblow number 1 is a great bargain at $6. $6 for this beautiful VF copy. Look at that artwork. Early Bermejo artwork on that. Look at that. Fantastic. Now, we have a page of original Bermejo somewhere around here. Nice. Next up. World's Finest. That is definitely a Neil Adams cover. You get multiple Luthors, multiple evil Batmans. Oh, this book kind of has it all. It's an Adams cover and interior story, which is just spectacular. This is a solid, pretty VG copy from 1968. Set you back $10 in the store. Help yourself out. Throw $7 at this. Type in World's Finest 175, $7 and claim. Next up.
We have just a few of these.
Oh, a little bit of swag, a little light running swag. Stuff we acquire with growing, stuff we buy in collections. We sell a lot of toys too. And we buy toys in collections, stuff from certain vintages we don't give a whole lot for, or we try to pass on them. But this is the Power of the Force, the second running of the Power of the Force with ComTech technology. From 1999, most of the times you can find these out there in the wild, putting together your Stormtrooper set for your Dinorama. You're going to need lots and lots of Stormtroopers. They're about $11 a throw, but $5 if you claim it here during our show. Star Wars, The Power of the Force, Stormtrooper, $5. Next up, is that Iron Patriot?
It's from Iron Man 3. Doesn't say, it looks like Iron Patriot, but it just says Iron Man 3 on it. That's all I can tell
Iron
you.
Man 3, Iron Patriot, because, what 4-year-old doesn't want to snuggle up with the indifferent Iron Man? $7 for the plush, though. If you're going to try to complete your Iron Man plush, you got to have it. Sorry. Iron Patriot, $7 plush. Next up. What is that, Cindy?
This is a Star Trek Strike Force figure of the NCC 1701D, which is, what would that be, Picard ship.
Yeah, we need to put that in the middle of the screen so we don't get all of it in the picture.
Give me a minute. I'll take these down.
So it's, is that Playmates? Is that who makes that time period? Yeah, it is Playmates. I see it on there.
Yeah, I think they did all of those, didn't they, pretty much?
Yeah, maybe. So there we go. Your Strike Force. Hey, is that a little tiny Picard and Riker there?
It is, and if you flip this top open, they can sit in there like to drive the ship.
Well, I'm sorry,
While
but
it's open.
I'm sorry, but their scale is way off. That's crazy off, as a matter of fact. But you can see they can fly around inside of it. From 1997, Playmates, I think Galoob did a few of their toys also. $22. Wow, let's kind of have some. Maybe with the Star Trek being so good again, it'll help out these toys. $10 if you want this Star Trek for your collection. Next up.
The last little swag toy.
Wow, what is that? That's
Electrospark Spider-Man, but it's Captain America.
Electrospark. Electrospark Spider-Man. That's a Toy Biz toy, I believe.
Yep.
From 1997, $20 if it somehow makes it out to the
Got a
store.
sparkling shield, so I think it sparks, like, how you
Oh, like my old Evil Knievel toys used to spark?
yeah, you go whoosh, whoosh.
Pablo knows about those.
Yeah.
$15 if you can't live without this Captain America from the Spider-Man Electrospark line. Next up.
All right, now we're down to Pablo's nap.
Oh, Pablo, you got here just in time to take a nap. It's lightning round time. $1, $2, and $3 books, because we have $1, $2, and $3 bins in the stores. We're going to try to crush through a lot of books very quickly. I'll talk just a little bit about these as we want to put these. This is overstock, stuff we didn't know what to do with, lower grade stuff that we're just trying to blow out. There we go. 99, Pablo. Next up. Okay, well, this is actually kind of cool. This is read the front of that for you, Cindy. What's underneath Spider-Man there?
Marvel Comics, let's see, U.S. First Day cover produced by Mystic Stamp Company
So they
in New York.
does it have a year anywhere on there? So evidently the U.S. Postal Service released some Marvel stamps. And I guess it's a big deal in the stamp collecting community to get this first day of issue stamp. So this is the first day of issue for this fantastic. It's a
It's
fantastic.
a 41-cent stamp, so that should give you you can find the year by that. I
Yeah.
does not have a year on it.
All right, but it's the first day of issue. It's got a special little envelope. Originally was $2.99, it looks like. And what are we charging for that now? $2?
Yeah, $2.
So if you got a stamp collector in your life, maybe something fun to talk about. It's a Fantastic Four stamp, I believe, on there. Turn it around sideways so people can see it and get a little closer to the camera.
That good?
Yeah, that's really good. All right, next up.
$2.
$2 for this promo booklet of DC versus Marvel Comics. I believe it was inside of Wizard Magazine, but this is a great crossover. Oh, if DC and Marvel would just talk some more. Next up, for this year's Free Comic Book Day was red hot, and whenever we get collections, sometimes people give us back some Free Comic Book Day books. This one's the Star Wars High Republic, highly sought after at the time. Glad to have one back. $2, is that right, Cindy?
Yeah.
Next.
Last $2 book.
Last $2 book is Superman number 92 or 82. Chromium. Peak 90s shenanigans ongoing here, but only $2. Next.
Now we're at the $3 books. We have no dollar books today.
No dollar books today. These
other
are
than the conditionals earlier.
right. This is Batman number 108. Meet Miracle Molly. First appearance of a new villain or hero or wherever she ends up being. Miracle Molly, and this is just randomly in a box. I go, well, okay, let's throw it in the show. See who needs Batman number 108 for $3. Next up, Spider-Man versus the Punisher from the year 2000, I believe this is. Wow, this is
Collector's item one shot.
well, it must be because they say it right there on the front
It's
of
what
it.
it is.
Spider-Man versus Punisher. It's just we didn't put a little bit more on it, but it was just stored just a little bit wackily. He's got just a handful of too many stress lines on it. So $3. Let's call it $3 when we're done. Next up, Lenticular, which means it has two images in it and you can move it back and forth. Batwoman number 1, Lenticular, $3. Next up, PT Boat Skipper. What number is that? Number 9?
Yeah, it is number 10.
Number 10, Captain Storm. Wow. I don't know did he ever interact with any other DC characters? I'm not sure. But there we go. He had his own title. At least got up to 10 issues. He's a PT boat skipper. I guess that's coming out of the mid-1960s with John Kennedy being the PT boat skipper. That was all the rage, I guess.
Johnny
PT,
Storm's product?
no, wrong company. But, maybe in a crossover.
You don't know.
Captain Storm, number 10. Next up.
That's when they were talking.
Yes. From 1964 in Adventure Comics, which Legion Superheroes, they're getting all bratty. Look at that. They're destroying all the toys right there in front of Superboy. That's just mean. What number is that, Cindy?
Number 326.
326. $3. Next up. Oh, the embossed.
52, yeah.
New 52, Batman number 25, the embossed cover. Don't know why it was in a random box, but let's find a good home for it. You can start your Batman New 52 collection cheap, $3. Next up, what if Spider-Man's clone had lived? I think that we've answered that about 30,000 times.
What do you mean, what if? Yeah.
This is from 1981. This is it's got a super rolled spine. It's a reader copy, $3. Next up, Adventure Comics from 1974. Wow, this is a great reader copy. Both staples are pulled, though, so it's not a collectible. But, man, that Jim Aparo cover, and then you got an Aparo Spectre story, and then an Alex Toth story in the back. Oh, my gosh. What are you doing? Just throw your $3 at it right now. Next up. Yeah, that's right. Justice League number 200. Nice solid VG copy. It looks like a George Perez cover from here. More than likely. Hey, there's Green Lantern for $3. Justice League. Next up, the West Coast Avengers Live, a title from a few years ago, in which we got was it Jimmy Kimmel on the cover there, and he's inside the book too, interviewing the Avengers. West Coast Avengers Live, number 4, featuring Jimmy Kimmel, only $3. Yeah, that apparel artwork is spectacular, man. He was just killing it. What number Weird War is that?
33.
Number 33. Oof, 1975. The solid VG copy, just not a high grade one, but still, what a great read for $3. Next up. Number 1 of the Electra miniseries from, I believe it was 96, maybe 98. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head. $3. Next up.
Final book for the
Final lightning round book. Somebody start waking Pablo up. 0 Hour promotional book leading into the big storyline 0 Hour. It was also in the back. It was included in the back of some Wizard magazine. I'm not really sure which. But now you can score that. Look at that very early appearance of that version of Superboy. $3. And that was that's Kyle Rayner, right? Really bad Kyle Rayner outfit. Man, that is just really epically bad. $3 though for this 0 promo book. And we're ready to get back to the show. What do you guys think?
All right, let me get these guys down. All right, back to the regular show.
Oh, a classic Superman. We have a lot of Supermans. We put a lot of Supermans on the shows the last couple of years. I don't know that we've ever had this one before. This is a fun one. Superman's brother, Lex Luthor. Oh, my. Issue 175 from 1965. A nice solid VG copy. We'd put $20 in store. Totally can score it for $8. Superman number 175, 1965. That's almost as old as me. $8. Next up, you had Pre-Flaminations. Oh, you prefer that Kyle Rayner costume? How do you block people? Oh, and you also like Cyclops. You're just being mean now. X-Men versus the Avengers. All right. Let's have a throwdown. Sure. Oh, this is the B Team Avengers, and I don't even recognize a lot of those characters. That's Magneto in his really bad outfit. The Black Knight, Super Spare, Crimson Dynamo. What is he even doing there? And that's definitely got to be a Silvestri rogue there, right? This is all 4 issues. Beautiful VF copies though. Find out what happens when the X-Men and the Avengers throw down. Just forget about don't superimpose the really good costumes on these characters. $24 in store, $18. Claim X-Men versus Avengers. Next up, Thor number 222. Wow, this is Muscle Beach. Look at this. Hercules and Thor, toe-to-toe and back-to-back versus a whole pantheon of other gods. Fantastic throwdown in the Battle for Hell. 1974 issue, $6 for this VG copy. Thor number 222. What? And a beam off. Yeah, that's true. I would say pay money to see that. Now you can too. Next up, Venom number 4 from 1993. This was stored poorly, so it presents as a VF, but when you're holding it in your hand, you're going to go like, oh, I see why Keith graded this fine. But that just makes it affordable, right? The first appearance of Scream, who was in that last Venom movie, I think, right? $6 for Venom number 4 from 1993. Next up, G.I. Joe. He's a real American hero. And they're relaunching the title, too. The relaunch Transformers is doing great. The Void Rivals book is doing great. Now that the Skybound has in control of those over Image. Cool. This is a spectacular, I say, VF copy of G.I. Joe number 24 from 1984. I was going to make fun of this when I first looked at it. I was like, oh, I wonder what random G.I. Joe name they assigned to this. Is this like Spread Eagle or Ate My Lunch? I don't know. Oh, it's first appearance of Firefly in this book. Oh, I should have known. $25 though. These are getting hard to find in higher grades as all the people get older and they want their collection back. $18 for this. If you're one of those people trying to put your collection back together, we have a nice little run of these from, say, issue 3 to 40. Not every single one, and some of the keys are already gone. But if you need some filler, some really nice ones, send me your want list. We'll get you hooked up. Next up. Don't know enough about Distillery yet. They just had their first book come out. Gore, Gone. Don't know yet. Superman, number 248. Well, boy, I remember getting this book in mail order. Fantastic. And of course, Lex Luthor's there, yelling at Superman because he made him kill everybody on the earth. Yeah, that makes it Superman's fault. This solid VG Plus copy. Plus, it has a Tales of the Lost Tales of Krypton in the middle of this book by Dave Cockrum, the guy who helped create the new X-Men and was on the title for a good year and a half. I did not know that he even drew anything over at DC. Hadn't been paying attention. Just did not know that. This nice VG Plus copy, $6 if you claim Superman 248. The IDW Ghostbusters run. I don't even know if we have those, but that would be fun to look for. That would be fun because those would just pop up randomly in boxes. More World's Finest. This time, wow, look, Lex, you'd think that you would. I get that the Joker's homicidal and can't shoot straight, but Lex, you're a scientist, for goodness sakes. Lex and the Joker going at it with Superman and Batman saying, let them fight. From 1968, this is World's Finest 177. This is a good copy. It's a low-grade reader copy. $6. Next up. Yeah, that is a good-looking Joker there. In 2015, Marvel got the rights. Well, they bought Lucasfilm, and someone made the decisions of, we own a comic book company and we own Star Wars. Why are we licensing that out? And Dark Horse said, oh, man. And so Star Wars came home to Marvel Comics, where it started off in 1977. This is Star Wars #1 from that relaunch in 2015. The John Cassaday cover, Fort Worth's own John Cassaday. #1 of Star Wars from 2015. We just found some in a box. Don't know when they got there or how they got there. But there's so much stuff in the warehouse. Beautiful VF copy. $10 in store. $6 if you claim Star Wars #1 right now. Next up. Oh, it's a collected edition. Trade paperback. Look at that. How cute is that? That is the Tales of the Super Pets. It has great stories featuring Streaky and Crypto. I bet you anything there's some Comet the Super Horse in there. And definitely got to be Ace the Bat Hound, right? Tales of the Super Pets is a $20 graphic novel that if you claim it here tonight, I don't think this has been even opened up, has it? $16 if you claim it here. Tales of the Super Pets graphic novel. Next up. Oh, from the early 90s. Most of y'all, except for me and Pablo and Cindy, don't remember the craze of the early 90s when all the Marvel cards. Oh my gosh, they did so many series of Marvel cards, and then they just kept making them fancier and fancier and fancier, and then finally they were like $5 a pack in the early 90s. Wow, crazy expensive. But they were doing some good work in the beginning, and they got Joe Jusko to do a whole set. And what they did is they made a comic out of the different paintings, and that's how they launched several of them. And you can see at the bottom it says, for the first time you can see like 6 or 8, or I forget how many of it is, the Marvel Masterpiece and Joe Jusko's before they had been released. It was a cool book, a beautiful poster book. Issue #1 from 1993, solid fine copy, $6. Next up. Oh, the Super Pets movie was good. Oh, you know what? We haven't watched that, Cindy. We need to do that.
Oh, we do?
Yeah. More Brave and the Bold. Oh, look at that. Who could that be? Oh, that's one of the Guardians of the Universe. Which one is that?
The blue one.
The blue one. But didn't they give one of them a name? Is that the one that they named? I can't remember. No. I forget what his name. Ganthet. I think it is his name. Batman and the Guardians of the Galaxy in Brave and the Bold 173 from 1981. Smoking hot VF copy. And still, somebody must have had an interest in a financial interest in this Nemesis character. They kept dragging that poor guy out, and he never took off, never caught on. But here he is. He gets a backup story in this Brave and the Bold from 1981. $7 for Brave and the Bold, #173. Oh yeah, so do we. Lots and lots of Marvel cards. More Peak Shenanigans from 1993. Hey, we're doing well with all these titles. What happens in the year 2099? Oh my gosh, that's not impossible anymore, is it? This is a foil cover, beautiful foil cover of this. X-Men 2099, the first appearance of all these 2099 characters. I'm sure they'll end up in some current iteration at some point. $12 in store. Man, we were getting $25 for these at one time. Wow. $9 if you claim it here. $9 for X-Men 2099, number 1 from 1993. What if Daredevil killed the Kingpin? Wow, this has got a lot going for it. You got that whole born again storyline, and this spins out of that. And if you didn't get a chance, jump on the YouTubes today and look at the Echo trailer. It's rated TVMA, and when you see the trailer, you go, "Oh my, I understand why." And so that kind of leads into and goes around the edges of that, where they're going to be mashing that story, that Echo line story up, hopefully with Born Again, if they ever get it rebooted. But this issue of What If from the rebooting from 1989 also features early Greg Capullo artwork. And if you're not familiar with him, Todd McFarlane snapped him up and basically had him do a lot of spawns for, I don't know, a good long time. He may still be doing those. Greg Capullo artwork on this is really nice on the inside. What if Daredevil killed the Kingpin? $10. Then the Kingpin would be dead. Fair point. Fair point.
We just saw a commercial with Kingpin in it.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, the Echo show.
Oh, it looks good.
Here we go. Superman, number 193.
I thought you were talking about kudos, sir.
I did a show. I usually put some actions and Supermans in each shows because we have a couple of people who are really into it. And I did a couple of shows last week without any. Sorry about that, everyone. Superman, this is an 80-page giant also. What does super spell out there, Cindy?
Let's see. Super spells out sensational story, unusual, puzzling, exciting, and rip-roaring stories.
Rip-roaring, even. Issue 193 of Superman with the Go-Go checks and an 80-page giant. $20 seems like a great price for this classic Superman book. $8 if you claim Superman 193 during the show. VG copy, $8. Oh, we're going to go in the Wayback Machine. I love these Patsy Walkers. It was Miss America. The title of the book was Miss America. She was never a superhero, as far as I know. She might have wore a costume like one time, but she really wasn't a crime fighter. But I think this is Al Hartley cover artwork here, very reminiscent of some early Romita stuff. I'm sure that these guys rubbed off on each other. Romita would have just been starting at Marvel, I would think, about this time period. And look for me, how much this character Buzz, who was the boyfriend of Patsy Walker, how much they resemble like Peter Parker and Mary Jane. Always strikes me that. This is Patsy Walker in Miss America. So the actual book is Miss America. This is a Marvel comic, more than likely written by Stan Lee in 1956. $20 for this VG copy, or $13 if you claim this. We're going to call it a Golden Age book, Golden Age Marvel comic at $13. Next up, Wolverine. All right, number 5 from 1989 with John Buscema artwork in it, where we learn about all of his time in Madripoor as Patch. Wolverine number 5 from 1989. This spectacular VF copy, $18. $18 if you. We lost a little bit of our internet here. Hang on just a second. There we go. We're back. $18 in store. $14 if you claim Wolverine. Wolverine number 5. Next up, a nice little miniseries a lot of people hadn't heard of. Doom, the Emperor Returns. From 2002, this is a 3-issue miniseries. Doesn't come across our collections very often. Jump on it while you can. It's a 3-part miniseries. $17 in store. $14 if you claim it during the show. $14 for Doom. Doom, the Emperor Returns. $14. Yeah, we lost internet there for a second. I saw it spinning here on my end. World's Finest. Wow. World's Finest 176. Wow, spectacular Neil Adams cover. It's a low-grade reader copy, though, only $6. But you'll be happy to have this book in your collection. Neil Adams cover, Neil Adams artwork on the inside. Wow, nice. $6. Next up. Oh, The Man Without Fear. Born Again on this book. Kirby and Romita joined here in issue 13. And look, somebody back in the mists of time punched some holes in it so they could put it inside their binder. Makes me very sad. And I wish I could get in my time machine and go smack that 13-year-olds with a little ruler and keep them from doing that.
This is a nice cover.
It is a nice cover, Kirby Romita. Only $8 though for this reader copy to keep you from having to open it up your very fine copy. Daredevil number 13, $8. This is probably, well, it's not high enough grade, so I didn't mark it as a conditional, but it presents fantastic. This is later in the run on Sergeant Fury, number 118 from 1974. It's a solid mid-grade fine copy, only $6. Just not a super high-grade copy, but man, the colors on this, fantastic. They only had 4 colors. They were not afraid to use them. Sergeant Fury and the Howling Commandos, number 118, $6. Yeah, that Sergeant Fury does look great, right?
It does.
And so does this GI Combat, another mid-grade, solid mid-grade book, issue 181. When I was putting this together, I'm like, what if you just collected issue 181s? There's so many important things that happen in issue 181s. This would be like the cheapest one. GI Combat 181 from 1975, only $6 for this solid mid-grade copy. Oh, you have a page from that Sergeant Fury. That's pretty cool. No, there is nothing wrong with being a budget collector. We're here for everybody, baby. Next up. From 1995, there was I think it was part of Tokyo Pop, but they called it Mix, M-I-X-X. They were bringing over properties and doing new stuff in some cases, too, for some Japanese properties. This is Mobile Suit Gundam Wing, number 1 from 1995. I tried to pronounce the creative team in my head, and I couldn't do it, but maybe you guys who are into this kind of stuff know that. We still sell Gundams to this day. There's about 80 million of them, and with the different poses, it's practically like Transformers. From 1995, $11 for this issue number 1 of Gundam Wing. Now that they wouldn't even bother putting them out as comics now, they just go right to the manga size. And the manga size, I don't know if you guys are interested in that, but Marvel DC Comics just announced this week that they're going to do some of their greatest books in manga, just a little bit bigger than manga size it looked like, as a pocket reads. I wonder if anybody's interested in that or not. Next up, G.I. Joe, The Order of Battle. I'm not a Joe guy, so I don't know if this was like a handbook or if this was a miniseries. I should have peeked inside, but I did not. During Marvel's 25th anniversary, all this Joe stuff went down. This Order of Battle, though, full complete miniseries, 1 through 4, $20. Claim G.I. Joe Order of Battle for $20. Next up, a nice little Batman series, issues 452 through 454. That's Mignola covers on those. Dark Knight, Dark City, all 4 issues here from 1990, $10. Seems like a great deal to me. Batman Dark Knight, Dark City, complete set, $10. Next up, Detective Comics classic. Oh, I love this. This is Bernie Wrightson cover. Look at that. I remember the first time I came across this book at a convention. I was probably 13 or 14. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the coolest comic. It's a 20-cent comic. It's got all this cool artwork in it. This is a solid, fine, minus copy. And it's the first appearance of Jason Bard, another character like Nemesis that they kept trying and never could find an audience for. But this is his first appearance. Maybe he's your favorite. Issue 425 of Detective Comics from 1972. Solid, fine, minus copy. $14. Claim, Detective Comics, $4.25. Next up,
Hard to believe it, but we are down to 3.
3. Oh, look at that, Cindy. One of your favorites.
Yes, Van Gogh.
Uncanny
And
X-Men.
Wolverine.
Wolverine and Van Gogh. It's a twofer. Now, if we just threw the fourth Doctor in there, we don't know what would
That
happen.
would be great.
You'd explode.
I would.
Uncanny X-Men number 508 from 2009. This is the 1 in 10 ratio variant. Look at the Van Gogh. Did he cut his own ear off? Did that?
Only a piece, not that much.
Not
like
that.
his lobe. He was
Oh.
making a point.
Oh, what was his point?
He was sending it to somebody because they broke his heart.
Oh, that's sad. All right, Cindy's all about the Van Gogh. She even flew to a different city than the one we're in to see a Van Gogh exhibit. It's crazy
He
talk.
drove to Houston with Quincy when he was little tiny and Harrison, so they could see Starry Starry Night.
And then we saw all those Van Goghs in Philadelphia too.
Which was very cool.
There's a great museum with just a ton of them in there.
Totally, yeah. It's modeled after a man's personal collection.
It's fantastic. I mean, never mind. I'm not going. From 2009, Uncanny X-Men 508, $15 for this ratio variant, $12. Claim Uncanny X-Men 508. Next up, 2 Batman Family. Sweet Fine Plus copy. This is an oddball book because it has a demon story in the middle of it. You know, the Ryman spawned from hell. Written by Len Wein and with Steve Ditko doing the art. When did the demon become part of the Batman family? I guess right now. And B, holy smokes, Ditko did a DC demon story? Oh, well, there you go. First appearance of Maxie Zeus. Cindy looked that up, and what was Maxie's deal?
Oh yeah, Maxie Zeus was a teacher, and he became obsessed with the gods, and so he went crazy and made himself Maxie Zeus. So he's a god.
A minor Batman villain, right?
Minor Batman villain.
All right. Issue 480.
Believed.
Okay, this is actually an issue of Detective Comics featuring Batman family from 1979. How much? $20 for if we put it in the store? I believe it. It's a good looking book. $13 if you claim it. Batman Family featured in Detective Comics 483. Next up.
Final book for tonight.
Final book for this show. And thanks everybody for slipping in on this extra show. We had a lot of Ranger baseball.
Oh, it was great.
So yeah, it was great, but we didn't get to do as many shows as we like. And we'd also like to announce that there will be another show tomorrow night.
With a guest.
We will have a guest in studio at 6 p.m. There will be another show. Is Batman in the story? Maybe. Could be. We've already started working on that show. It'll be more goofy fun. Cindy, what do you got for the last book? Just an amazing copy. You know, you go through these boxes of collections that you buy. Because back in whenever we were buying collections back in the 70s and 80s, we were just filling out want lists. We were not grading collectors. You know, we needed issue 202 of a run, and it was there. We bought it. You know, what grade is it in? Who knows? Who cares? I just want to read it. Now there's a lot of collectors like that, but then there's also saying, you know, I would like it to be really nice too. I'll have a nice reader copy, thank you, but I would really like a nice pretty copy too. Like this one, a VF copy of a 12-cent comic. Pretty sweet. From 1968, $175 in store for this spectacular, crazy VF copy of Batman number 202. $150 if you think you can't live without it, or you can't even think about somebody else owning it, because it is nice. If you're on a big screen TV, pause right here. We'll wait. Look at how pretty that book is. Yeah, nice. Yes. If you need to be here at 6 p.m. tomorrow night, we have more fun, more show planned, just to try to get caught up for all the shows that we missed. Basically from January through October, get all caught up. Well, that's our show for tonight. Thanks, everyone, and hopefully we're seeing a lot of you in the future. Appreciate everybody that came in after the show last night and bought a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
That was very nice. We appreciate that. So if you're buying stuff in the future, hello, future, and thank you so much. We appreciate that. The reason we do these shows is to kind of build community, show you the kind of stuff that we're working. Send us some want lists so we can take more of your money. Help you out with your collection. And we're always happy to try to fill what we can. Throw up one more book.
I think it's a pretty good one.
That is a good book. Look at that.
It's a great cover.
Amazing Adventures, number 12. Really, look at the colors on that. This is the second appearance of this, what becomes the Blue Beast. Originally he's gray. That's the Beast from the X-Men. Ooh, issue number 12 of Amazing Adventures. He gets into this gigantic fight with Iron Man, and he thinks he kills Iron Man. And for the next couple of issues, the Beast is really distraught, and he's on the run because he thinks he killed Iron Man. Beast was experimenting on himself, and he ends up mutating even more. The Beast from the original X-Men comics was just this big, gigantic guy with gigantic hands and feet until he did these experiments on him and then became gray. Then later, the furry blue Beast that we all know and love, of Stars and Garters fame. From 1972, this also has just spectacular Mike Plug artwork on the inside. Wow. One Avenger, dead on arrival. $17 for this VG Plus copy. $14 if you claim Amazing Adventures. Read this book. It's fantastic. And there we are. All right. Thanks a lot, everyone. Cindy's been with me here as always.
I've been here as always.
That's our show for this afternoon. If we don't see you in the store, hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night. And if I don't see you tomorrow night, I'll see you next time.
Keys Comics.